and today we are coming at you from our front door. As we close the door on the last cool days of the season, we wanted to bring you 4 easy vegan recipes that will help you beat the summer heat. Those of you who do not have any AC like us, no need to worry, we will not be using the oven for any of these recipes. And with that, let's get into it.
First off, we have SNICKERDOODLE Nice Cream. You'll be needing some bananas. We used about 3 and still had a bit left over. Your choice of non-dairy milk, a bit of cinnamon, and of course the most important ingredient, Biscoff butter. Oh hey look, it's us from the night before because you need to freeze these bananas. You may remember my previous attempt at peeling a banana. And as you can see, this time isn't going well either. Now I'm just cutting up the bananas, prepping them to be frozen. And remember kids, try not to poke yourself in the eye with the knife. So now it's present day, we have the now frozen bananas. This NutriBullet, we're just gonna plug it up and start blending and mixing and blending again. You'll want to add a decent amount of the bananas. We filled our blender about halfway. Add a splash of milk to help the bananas blend, and then add that teaspoon of cinnamon. If your blender is having a hard time mixing up the nice cream, you'll want to shake it up a bit and add a little milk. Then lastly, add your tablespoon of Biscoff butter. Now you're probably better off blending in the Biscoff with the bananas instead of plopping it in the middle of the bowl like I did, so just a little heads up. Now this is optional, but we drizzled over some chocolate syrup that we made from scratch. We'll link the recipe down below. If you're a fan of SNICKERDOODLE anything, then this variation of the ice cream is definitely for you.
Next up is the Clueless slush. All you will need is some white grape juice, cranberry juice, and orange juice. Oh look, it's us from the night before once again because we need to freeze the cranberry juice and the orange juice. To make 2 servings, measure out 3/4 of a cup of orange juice and add that to an ice cube tray. Then measure out 1.5 cups of cranberry juice and also add that to an ice cube tray, but try not to make a mess like I did. The next day, simply add half of the juice cubes to the blender of your choice. If they don't all fit, just add them as you blend. I didn't kill him, I didn't! Finally, add a splash of grape juice.
Okay.
Side note, this would work better with a stronger blender, but if you have enough patience, even a weaker one can get the job done. Ooh, that was sour.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing the first ever Clueless punch.
Very good.
Okay.
It's very tropical.
Yes.
It looks beautiful, if I may say so myself.
Definitely a drink you would have on the beach and not in the middle of Ohio.
But when life gives you lemons,
make Clueless slush, right? Yeah. Patent peddling. No,
patent pending.
Patent pending. Up next, no bake cookies with a twist. You'll need oil, cocoa powder, vanilla extracto, old-fashioned oats, sugar, non-dairy milk, and that tasty Biscoff butter again. On to dessert number 3. Guys, we're just getting started. I'm getting pumped and I'm ready to eat everything in sight. I don't know. Add 1 cup and 3/4 of oats to a mixing bowl. In a separate small pot, add in 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of Biscoff butter, 1/4 cup of non-dairy milk, 1/4 cup of oil, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Bring this gooey mixture to a boil, which means you'll be stirring constantly for your life to avoid any burning. And eventually, it'll look like this. Oh yeah. Once it reaches a boil, quickly remove the mixture from the heat. Pour in the chocolate goo with the oats and mix everything together. Scoop out balls of the mixture and put it on a cooking sheet. Then put the sheet in the fridge and let it cool for about an hour. Yeah.
Ta-da! Bon appetit!
Originally, you're supposed to make these with peanut butter, but we used the Biscoff obviously, but I think that it does this a service.
It's still very sweet, as no-bake cookies should be, but it feels a little bit lighter in a way than with peanut butter. I don't know. A little tip for these, if you get to the end of the process when you're mixing the sauce into the oats, and it seems like you need more oats, don't add any more. I added more because it seemed like there was too much liquid, but they ended up a bit crumbly and hard to stick together. So if you stick to the original recipe, it should be fine. The only bad thing about these cookies is that they won't last very long.
They didn't.
Our final recipe is a pudding pie. You will need cook and serve vanilla pudding, oatmeal cookies or graham crackers for the crust, non-dairy milk, strawberries, and non-dairy butter.
We're going to start off by making the crust, and typically I would make a graham cracker crust, but unfortunately we couldn't find any graham crackers without honey in them. So we're going to try these oatmeal cookies. I don't know how this is going to work out, but let's hope for the best. We're going to grind them up in the blender. So the blender didn't work out exactly as we had hoped, which means it's time to try an alternative method. This is the best we've got.
Once you've figured out a way to smash your oatmeal cookies, add the crumbles to a bowl, followed by a couple of tablespoons of vegan butter. Mix thoroughly. Pour your crust into a pie pan and smush it in evenly. We ended up using about 14 cookies.
So we're going to start out by making our vanilla pudding filling. A few websites suggested that using the cook and serve version is way better than using the instant version when you use a non-dairy milk, so make sure you buy that. Just make sure you double check the ingredients on the pudding that you buy. This is accidentally vegan, but yours might not be.
Pour 2 4.6 ounce packs of vanilla pudding into a pot along with 3 cups of milk. Mix the pudding and milk together well to get rid of any clumps, and then bring the pudding to a boil. Be very careful not to let it stick to the sides of the pot. Pour the cooked pudding into a bowl and let it cool for a while before you add it to your crust. We ended up having a little bit of extra pudding left over, so enjoy! Smooth out the pudding and place it in the fridge to cool down and thicken. We wanted our pudding pie to have a fruity, summery feel, so we decided to chop up some strawberries and put them on top. You can definitely eat your pie immediately, but you can also put it back in the fridge to cool for a little bit longer. And finally, the moment that you have all been waiting for, cut into your pie and get yourself a big slice. This is optional, but we also added some of that chocolate sauce to this pie, and I promise that it tastes better than it looks.
Well, this is it, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This did not turn out as pretty as either of us had hoped. It's kind of yellow. The chocolate didn't really spread right, but all that matters is that it tastes good.
They don't call us Clueless vegans for nothing. Well, I guess we call ourselves Clueless. Never mind.
The chocolate sauce is a good addition.
Okay.
The oatmeal cookie as the crust did work out. I think it adds a really nice, I don't know, extra flavor than the graham crackers would.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good day of eating. Would you agree?
Maybe a little bit too much sugar.
Yeah, we'd recommend trying this one at a time rather than trying to make all 4 of them in one single day.
Do you have a favorite out of the ones we tried?
Pudding.
This one?
I haven't had pudding in like 10 years.
I think this is my favorite too.
This is a good way to end any summer night, especially the hot ones.
Wow, I'm feeling much Wow, I'm feeling colder already, Sarah. Who needs AC when you can stuff yourself with cold, sugary desserts? Well, we hope you try these recipes for yourself. Let us know down below if you do or don't. It's up to you, really. With that being said,
Stay cool.